What a tough race to tell. Obviously, Connor McDavid's got to be the favorite, but after that, it's pretty interesting because we got some speedsters. But I think with this event, I watched the run through yesterday. A lot of it has to do with the corners. Who takes the corners the best? I think going into the first one wide is usually the best technique for maintaining your speed. So we'll watch Kreider here if he does that.
Kreider was the leadoff man in the last competition, the goal-scoring leader in the NHL with 33. He went 13.509, set a torrid pace 2 years ago, and similar time, 13.664 to get things started.
Well, it's such an unusual thing for your body, too, to be just relaxed, chit-chatting, standing for introductions, and then have to crank it up. You can see the look on his face. It's the legs are barking. Trust me, Kevin, you know how heavy they get and how bad they feel, and to start from a standstill when you've done nothing is a very difficult task early on.
Well, it's funny, I actually watched some of the fastest skaters in warm-up to see if they would do a little bit more, a little more of a warm-up, and there wasn't much, a lot of talking around and gliding. So to your point, Craig, this is a tough event. They're glad to get this one over with and just relax after.
One thing Barzal mentioned, he thought he won because he had been in game action. Here comes Adrian Kempe, who might be a sleeper here, a guy that provides a lot of speed on the top line for the Kings.
And Kevin said it all. It's about the corners. Can you accelerate through the corners? Typically, that's where Connor McDavid has done well. Kempe, not a bad run here. And
well, there's an early lead for Adrian Kempe, 13.585.
I like the way that they've set it up with the last three. Obviously, everyone's looking at in Larkin, Makar, and McDavid, but Kempe shows he's through the corners. I thought a little choppy, but he kept his speed going and was able to get himself a good head of speed right down here to the finish line.
Already a career year for Adrian Kempe, and that's a familiar theme at this All-Star. Here comes Kyle Connor, who I thought might be a tough guy to beat in the accuracy shooting, but here he is in the fastest skater, and he chooses the direction he wants to go.
Well, I think that hair makes it look like he's going on fire as well.
Does he get style points?
He does
style points.
Yeah, Kevin, you can see down there, it's just a flowing. What a year Connor is having, and his first All-Star game, very well deserved, as he's having an amazing year.
Interesting for me, you mentioned like picking which way you want to go. You just saw Kempe went the opposite way as a lefty, and now Connor and Kuznetsov are going this way, just feeling more comfortable turning this way. Interesting decision.
For the old minor hockey league guy, there was only one way to go.
As a right-handed shot for me, I'd be going around to the right, so you're turning to your backhand.
Well, let's see if the Birdman can fly. Evgeny Kuznetsov up next. And Kempe's time, 13.585, the time to beat. And Kuznetsov's not going to match that.
Well, you saw the explosive styles of Connor and Kempe, and I think he's just happy to have that one over. Kuznetsov, knowing he's not one of the favorites. A little bit of a slower technique on that one, trying to take those long strides and a little shuffle behind the net there to get some speed.
That was a survival lap.
That was, wasn't it?
There.
Yeah, you could tell, can't you, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. The guys are laughing on the bench right now over that one.
I think when he saw his name on that list, he's like, what am I doing here?
He's like, I'm a passer, not a skater.
Well, here's a guy that could challenge. What a season Jordan Kyrou is having with the St. Louis Blues. And you saw in our earlier graphic that in game he can fly as well. One of the real up-and-comers, and he puts a 13.550 to take the lead.
He was a bit of a wild card for me if you're looking at an unknown. First All-Star game, having just a fantastic year for the St. Louis Blues, and this is just all about intensity. And Kevin, sometimes the younger guys just aren't afraid to work a little bit harder and show, and you could see how he dug in there on that straightaway to get more speed for the corner.
And that's exactly what it is. I talked to him yesterday, and he was excited and looking forward to this event. His first All-Star game, wanted to put up a good time, as opposed to Kuznetsov, who's a little bit in cruise control. That was a good time for Kyrou.
Oh, here's a former winner, Dylan Larkin. A little controversy when he won. Back then, they were allowing the running start And he posted the fastest time ever, eclipsing Mike Gardner's all-time best. And let's see if Larkin's in contention here. Not in this competition.
Well, you saw there the route that he took. He was way deep around the corners. So many guys just trying to go tight to the net and take as little real estate as you need, but I thought he got himself a little wide. He almost ran into the back of the boards on the last turn. As he tried to dig in here, he went very deep on this last turn, and I think it almost cost him the boards there. He did get a little contact with the dasher as he's finishing off.
I think this is who everybody wants to see in this event.
Yeah,
Cale Makar.
Well, Scott Niedermayer won this event a couple of times, and now the great promise of this future superstar defenseman, Cale Makar, trying to light it up here in Vegas. Little bobble there, and it won't be enough. 13-8-3-4.
You said a little speed wobble on that last one, and Cairo's still got a little nervous grin on his face as he sees his name up at the top, but he knows who's coming. You know, I think, Kevin, there are some players that you put a puck on their stick and they almost seem to go faster. I think these last two guys are both of that mode. Makar is so competent with the puck, and McDavid better than anyone.
Here we go. He won in 2017, 18, and 19, trying to become the first four-time winner of this event. You see the time to beat from Kyrou. He could do this with a puck on his stick, and Connor McDavid will not have enough, and it will be Jordan Kyrou.
Look at that look. Oh, what a great moment for Kyrou, just nervously getting a little tap from Connor McDavid, but what a job he did as Kyrou in his first ever All-Star appearance wins, much to the chagrin of that Connor McDavid fan.
You know, even a couple of weeks ago, he said he was excited to come to the All-Star game, spends a lot of time watching players like Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews. He couldn't wait to rub shoulders with them, and Jordan Kyrou didn't just do that, he beat them in the fastest skater competition.
Well, Kevin, would you call that an upset from Vegas standards? There's no question that McDavid coming in as the clear favor, but Kyrou showing on a one-off. You just never know. The corners are so important. McDavid unable to get that speed going up to keep to where Kyrou was able to catapult himself.
Well, that fan was wowed by an upset here with the fastest skater. There's young Jordan Kyrou. Now the leading scorer for the St. Louis Blues, one of those young Blues players with Robert Thomas that looks like they could take St. Louis to the Stanley Cup once again.